Welcome in Mass Effect 2. As I recall my memories, this game came out on my last semester day at university in that year, so I could play without any guilt, which was amazing. And I remember the first playthrough was like a bit more than a day, after I started to play, so it was very quick. And I finished the game like, I don't know, minimum 4 times, maybe more. So this is definitely the most played game for me in the series. And even though the game feels like it's a huge side quest, I think this is still the most impactful lore-wise and generally on the game, because it gives a lot of extra detail on the characters, the different species and events and so on, even though the main story is not progressing that much. But there is some very good DLC which a little bit helps in that. But overall this game was just phenomenal in my opinion.
Shepard did everything right. More than we could have hoped for.
Commander Shepard uncovered the truth.
And still, it's not enough.
We're at war. No one wants to admit it, but humanity is under attack.
But they're sending him to fight Geth. Geth. We both know they're not the real threat. The Reapers are still out there.
And it's up to us to stop them.
The Council will never trust Cerberus. They'll never accept our help, even after everything humanity has accomplished. But Shepard, they'll follow him. He's a hero, a bloody icon. But he's just one man. If we lose Shepard, humanity might well follow.
Then see to it that we don't lose him.
It's good to be home, huh, Commander?
We have 2 new minigames. In the first one we need to match the text by avoiding the red ones. It's very simple and I think better than the first game. And also if you match or go into the red one, it's just like giving you an error and you have 3 mistake attempt. The next one is like a circuit board memory game. You need to match the 2 symbols. Also again, you need to avoid matching the wrong symbols, otherwise you fail. It's very simple and sometimes very obvious and quick without checking the symbols. The new planet exploration is, I think, better than the Mako. Here you need to scan the planet for the 4 different resources that you can use for research during the game. And when during the scan you see the highest amount of find, let's say, you just launch a probe and then that's it, you get the quantity which is there and that's it. There is a lot of planets you can scan, but you don't need all of them during the game, so it's very easy to just avoid most of the scanning. So you need maybe, I don't know, a few systems and that's it. The new tank, the Hammerhead, is way better than the Mako. It's like a hovercraft. Easy to navigate, it has only rockets, can scan or pick up stuff and also jump. So this one is way better than the Mako. Also luckily you don't need to use it too much, and also the planet missions, like time requirement reduced, so it's not that used during the game, but still it's a nice addition and much better feeling than the Mako. As for the new planetary exploration, it's again a little bit annoying like the Mako, especially the fuel part, because you need to refuel your plane between the systems, just doesn't make any sense kinda. And for the planet exploration you need to buy new probes, so if you run out of probe you need to go back, buy a new one, and then you can continue to explore the planet for the resources. Both can be improved in capacity during the game, but still it's a little bit annoying, and I think they wanted to keep part of the RPG element with that, but I think it's not the interesting one they did it. So this could have been maybe a better solutions. It's fine, but that's it. And I think the only bug I found in the game is that when my character didn't turn, just walk straight, which doesn't matter which way I wanted to go. It was kind of weird, and then suddenly it was okay then. So the gunplay is improved a lot in this game in my opinion, and also the use of biotip powers is way better and more fluid. The cover system still stayed the same, but reacting quicker, so it's less disturbing during the game. But really the gunplay and how you like need to reload the weapons feels much better and fluid compared to the first game to me. A little bit, yeah, it's sad that you lost some of the weapon customization, but otherwise I think it's a step up in the game, more like action-like, but which was more problematic in that regard was that they reduced the amount of skills you can get during character improvement, so you have less option to improve yourself and the others as a character compared to the first episode. So in this regard it's a little bit of step back, but really the gunplay itself I think it's more enjoyable and the game is more feels fluid when you are in combat. Also, what was really good to see during the game that you have more enemy types, so not just gas or mercenaries, but different species, for example, and the collectors. So I think it greatly added to the general enjoyment of the game during the fight.
Watch out!
Also, there was some new location during the game, which was a great addition. For example, I completely forgot the Omega Station, which was very surprising because it's kind of a major part during the game. And also there is some different nightclubs and clubs you can go to, and it's giving some kind of different vibe compared to the general gameplay. So it was very fun to experience that also. And also there is some random thing you can do, like dance, for example, which was also very funny. And you can also drink at different locations during the game, including your own ship. You can collect different objects like balls. And my fish tank was completely dead because I always forget to feed them. About the Citadel, this is way smaller now, so much less time is required to go around and buy whatever in the shops and interact with the locations and people you need to. So this Citadel, even though it's smaller and not giving that much layer to it as in the first game, but for me this was better. But also maybe it's because in the first game you get to know the Citadel due to the walking around and everything, and here you just straight go into the location where you need to go, and that's it. The cutscenes improved a lot in my opinion. It's just amazing to see, and in my opinion it's a missed opportunity to make a series or films or animated whatever with this technology. It was just amazing to see. Even the different space scenes was very nice. We get to see, for example, the Korean fleet.
Along tides of light and through shoals of dust, I will return to where I began.
Understood. Approach exterior docking cradle 17.
The Citadel again.
Eye of the hurricane, huh?
We love passing through relays, for example the Omega 4.
Damn it.
Nice and easy.
There is one scene when it's kind of a car chase and so on, so it reminded me to Coruscant slash Fifth Element slash Total Recall, which is also interesting. But yeah, generally I think the space scenes and generally the cutscenes are really beautiful. We have two DLC. The first one is The Arrival, which is giving some extra story info, but it's more like a link between the second and third game. The other is the Lair of the Shadow Broker, which is more like a little bit of extra info, let's say, but it's more significant for the third game. And also it's giving some extra layer for Liara.
Hagalaz. The oceans boil during the day, then snap freeze 10 minutes after sundown.
The Shadow Broker lives in this?
His ship follows the sunset, completely undetectable in the storm, unless you know where to look.
This is the Shadow Broker. The situation is under control.
So the second episode's greatest achievement is the rich quad system, I would say. Because there is a huge team you can select from party members. But not all of them is great, in my opinion. Starting with Zaid is kind of boring. Not too much extra to the game for him to be in the game, in my opinion. He has a bit of extra layer with one of the mercenary groups, but that's it, so not much. Legion, however, is quite interesting. He's a good addition and also an interesting link between the Geth and the Quarians, and also shows a interesting personality because he's a combination of more than 1,000 Geth, so it's quite interesting what he's representing, let's say. Samara has a kind of an interesting boss vibe, but other than that, she's a very strong character also. Not super deep in character itself, in my opinion, but she's more of the interesting ones. So she was quite a good one in that, but overall she's not super detailed or interesting, in my opinion. Tali, however, so she's extremely interesting now, and she's giving a lot of extra info about the Quarians and the Geth, and together with Legion she has a very good addition to the game in lore level, let's say. So yeah, she's definitely a huge improvement compared to the first game. Mordin, aside that he designed the Genophage, or part of that team, he doesn't bring that much to the wall, in my opinion, but he's definitely more of the interesting ones overall. But he's really like the tech and science guy, so... Garrus, he's improved since the first game, but still kind of mediocre in some way. So for me, he's not in the top characters, but he's definitely a good one. But he's also like on a personality level improved since the first game, so he's also a good change or improvement compared to that. Miranda. One of the reasons I like her is because she was modeled after an actress, like, and also that actress voiced her. But she's starting from a very cold personality, let's say, and then she's opening up and getting more layer, so in that she's very interesting. And also, she likes to clean.
I've cleared the engine room. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so Miranda, for me, she's a better character in this game, and I really liked her, a very interesting one. Grant, he's the new Krogan. I preferred Rex, to be honest. I'm not sure how to phrase it. In very short, I didn't find him too interesting, so that's all I can say about him technically. It's not his fault, but not interesting for me. Jacob, same as Kaidan or Zaid, like just a cannon fodder. No. Thane, however, he's my favorite. He has a very... So yeah, he's an assassin, but also has a very interesting layer due to his religious side, let's say. Or not exactly religion, but how the Drell belief system operates, let's say.
Amon Kira, Lord of Hunters. Grant that my hands be steady, my aim be true, and my feet swift. And should the worst come to pass, grant me forgiveness.
So yeah, Thane, for me he was the most interesting. He has a very good vibe and interesting personality since the beginning. So it's very weird in some aspect that like, even though he's an assassin, he has a very high moral, let's say. And this will improve in the third game as far as I remember, but I will see soon. But yeah, for me, 10. Jack, she's like a complete badass. Very interesting character, but for me this style is not exactly the one I like, let's say. But her story and general vibe is a good one, so she's also better one among the characters, but for me not the top, and that's it. Kasumi, as a character, again, she's similar to some of the others, that not too interesting, but her mission was one of my favorite, because it reminded me to one of the Firefly episode when the team is going to steal the first laser pistol, the Lassiter.
Our friend Hawk is throwing a party for his closest friends. A couple dozen of the worst liars, cheaters, and mass murderers you'll ever want to meet, all bringing gifts as a tribute to the man himself.
So even though as a character she's not the most interesting one, for me her mission was the funniest or most enjoyable, let's say. But if I want to like kind of give some summary for the team, oh, before I forget, also Liara shows up as a guest, let's say, in this episode. She's also kind of badass now, not that kind of childish or innocent as in the first episode, so it was good to see her improvement during the game.
I'll make it simple. Either you pay me, or I flay you alive. With my mind.
But for me, the funniest one is definitely Joker.
Access achieved. We may proceed.
So, character-wise, if I want to say the most interesting for me on personality layers is Miranda. But as a character who was the most like impactful to get to know during the game is Thane. The most interesting one lore-wise, I think, Legion and Tali combination, and mission-wise, Kasumi for me. Mass Effect 2, in a nutshell, I love this game. I really just think it's a brilliant game. Too bad there is not more like this. Characters were phenomenal. I think the detail and the extra layer it gives to the universe itself is just brilliant. And now just the Mass Effect 3 is left and the Reapers are coming.